Ever wonder why the smartest people you know seem to miss deadlines, cancel plans, and put off life-changing opportunities? You'd think with all that brain power they'd be the first ones crushing their goals, right? But no. Sometimes the brightest minds are the worst at just getting things done. And here's the real twist. It's not because they're lazy or careless. It's because intelligence itself might actually cause procrastination. Yeah, you heard that right. Being smart can backfire harder than trying to win an argument with a cat. Ancient philosophers like Socrates once said, "The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing." And guess what? Smart people know how much they don't know. They see every tiny risk, every possible failure, every microscopic flaw before they even start. Meanwhile, modern science shows their brains get flooded with options, so many that their decision-making wires fry like cheap Christmas lights. In today's world, where speed is king and patience is extinct, overthinking is a secret death trap. You're not just battling distractions, you're battling a brain that's too good at making excuses sound noble. But the good news? If you understand why you procrastinate, you can beat it. You can flip that overthinking into power. You can actually outsmart your own mind. And trust me, it's way cooler than it sounds. But before we dive deeper into the fascinating journey, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Smart people don't just see the path in front of them. They see every single path, roadblock, dead end, and pothole at the same time. It's like trying to pick a meal from a menu that's bigger than a phone book. Should you get the burger? The pasta? The salad? Or what if the salad isn't that good? What if the burger makes you sleepy? What if the pasta changes your whole destiny? By the time they finish thinking it all through, the restaurant's closed and they're still hungry. This is what modern psychology calls the paralysis of possibility. The brain gets stuck. Instead of seeing one or two clear options like most people, smart people see 50. And every choice feels like it could be the wrong one. Ancient philosopher Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life." But what nobody told him is, too much freedom, too many choices, can actually trap you. Like a squirrel standing in the middle of the road, brain overloaded, while a car speeds toward it. Science backs this up too. Studies show that when humans are faced with too many options, we're more likely to freeze than to act. It's called decision fatigue, and it doesn't just drain willpower, it nukes it. In a world where we're drowning in options, what to study, where to live, who to date, even what to watch on Netflix, smart people feel the burn even faster. Their superpower of seeing all the possibilities becomes their kryptonite. And here's the real kicker. When you overthink every outcome, you don't just delay action, you lose trust in yourself. Every what if chips away at your gut instinct until you start second-guessing everything. You don't feel smarter, you feel stuck. And that's deadly in a fast-moving world that rewards quick decisions and punishes hesitation. But here's the thing, recognizing this trap is already a huge win. If you know your brain is short-circuiting because it's too good at imagining problems, you can limit your choices on purpose. Shrink the menu. Pick one or two great options and go. Action beats perfection, every single time. As the Stoics said, don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. In other words, stop thinking. Start moving. But overthinking is just the first trap smart minds fall into. And the next one cuts even deeper. Smart people don't just want to finish the race. They want to build the perfect track, invent the fastest shoes, and redefine the meaning of winning before they even take the first step. It's not enough to do well. It has to be flawless. Brilliant minds set bars so high that even Superman would need a trampoline just to look at them. And when the bar looks that impossible, a lot of them just don't jump. This is the curse of high standards. If it can't be perfect, why even start? Ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle said, "Pleasure in the job puts perfection in the work." But today's world twisted that into, if it's not perfect, it's worthless. Thanks, Instagram. Now, every project, every idea, every tiny thing has to be polished like a diamond before it ever sees the light of day. That pressure can crush even the smartest minds like a soda can under a truck tire. Modern science explains it too. Perfectionism is deeply tied to fear. Fear of judgment, fear of failure, fear of letting yourself down. And here's the trap. The smarter you are, the better you are at spotting flaws, even where none exist. It's like giving a magnifying glass to someone who already sees in 4K HD. They'll find something wrong because their brain needs to find something wrong. In daily life, this perfectionism bleeds into everything. You don't just hesitate to write that novel. You won't even start writing the first sentence. You don't just delay launching that business. You redesign the logo 100 times first. Meanwhile, the world keeps moving. Opportunities don't wait for your masterpiece. The solution? You gotta aim for progress, not perfection. Action, not applause. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who somehow ruled an empire and kept a daily journal, said it best. You could be good today, but instead, you choose tomorrow. If smart people can stop chasing perfect and start chasing done, they'll win in a world that's obsessed with speed, not flawlessness. And if perfectionism doesn't slow them down, the next reason hits even harder. Smart people have this sneaky little lie. They tell themselves, I'll just wait for the perfect moment to do it. It sounds smart, logical, like some future version of them, better rested, better dressed, with a protein smoothie in one hand and a Nobel Prize in the other, is going to swoop in and get everything done perfectly. Except, that moment never actually shows up. Ever. This trap is called overvaluing time and efficiency. Intelligent people are master planners. They're good at thinking 10 steps ahead. But sometimes that planning turns into fantasizing. They overestimate how efficient they'll be later, when they're less busy, more motivated, have the right tools, or Mercury isn't in retrograde. And the craziest part? Modern science shows that we're terrible at predicting our future motivation. Studies prove that people think they'll have more energy, more focus, and more willpower in the future than they actually will. Spoiler alert, future you is just as tired and distracted as today you. Ancient philosopher Seneca warned about this 2,000 years ago. While we are postponing, life speeds by. And he didn't even have TikTok and Amazon Prime competing for his brain cells. Imagine what he'd say now. Smart people waiting for perfect timing is like sailors waiting for the ocean to stop having waves. It's not going to happen. Life is messy. Timing is messy. You don't get a magical email saying, congratulations, today's the perfect day to start your dream. In real life, the people who win aren't the ones who wait for ideal conditions. They're the ones who act in imperfect conditions. They write the book when they're tired. They launch the business when they're scared. They move forward when they have no clue if it'll even work. That's how real success happens. Not by sitting around waiting for the universe to roll out a red carpet. Waiting for the stars to align sounds smart, until you realize what's happening underneath. Ever notice how some people say, I work best under pressure? Yeah, that's not a flex. That's an addiction to panic. And smart people are some of the worst addicts. When life feels too calm, too predictable, their brains start itching for that sweet, sweet chaos. So what do? They delay everything until the deadline is breathing down their neck like a dragon. And suddenly, they feel alive. This is the dirty secret behind a lot of procrastination. Smart minds crave stimulation. They need something to break the boredom of their own overthinking. And nothing lights up the brain faster than a full-blown crisis. Science shows that when you're under pressure, your body pumps out adrenaline, dopamine, and cortisol like it's throwing a hormonal rave. You feel sharper, faster, more focused. It's a legal high. And if you're smart enough to know it's coming, you might even start chasing it without realizing. Ancient Stoics warned about this kind of false bravery. Epictetus said, no man is free who is not master of himself. If you only act when you're cornered, you're not free. You're a hostage to your own chemistry. That last-minute rush isn't strength. It's survival mode dressed up as hustle culture. In real life, this plays out everywhere. Students cramming for exams the night before. Creators pulling all-nighters before deadlines. Entrepreneurs making moves only when the bank account hits zero. It's not about poor planning. It's about needing that rush to feel important, to feel powerful, to feel like the brain is finally fully switched on. But here's the price. Living in constant emergency mode eventually burns you out. What starts as thrilling becomes exhausting. And then even the thrill stops working. The fix? You have to create excitement without the chaos. Set mini deadlines. Make boring tasks into games. Reward action before panic has a chance to set the rules. Smart minds don't need last-minute terror to be brilliant. They just need to stop waiting for the fire alarm to ring. But there's something even darker fueling the cycle. Smart people don't just fear losing. They fear everything that comes with playing the game. Starting something big means risking a spotlight on their flaws. What if the work isn't good enough? What if people find out they're not as brilliant as they seem? That fear of failure can freeze even the sharpest minds. But here's the twist. Success scares them too. You'd think crushing it would feel amazing, right? But for smart people, winning just means one thing: higher expectations. Succeed once, and suddenly everyone expects you to be perfect all the time. It's like getting an A+ and realizing now you're stuck being the smart kid forever. No room for mistakes. No easy days. Just pressure climbing higher and higher until it feels easier to never even step onto the field. Ancient philosopher Lao Tzu once said, "When you are content to be simply yourself and don't compare or compete, everybody will respect you." But that's easier said than done when modern society ties your entire value to how much you achieve. Likes, followers, promotions, awards. It's all external proof that you're worth something. No wonder smart people get stuck. Taking action means risking their self-image. Doing nothing feels safer until it eats them alive. In real life, this shows up everywhere. The artist who never finishes the painting. The entrepreneur with a million ideas and zero launches. The student who drops the course just before finals. On the surface, it looks like laziness. But deep down, it's fear. Fear of not living up. Fear of what comes next. Fear of being trapped by their own success. The truth is, real self-worth has nothing to do with outcomes. It's about effort. It's about showing up messy, scared, and unsure, and doing it anyway. Progress over perfection. Courage over comfort. But if you're thinking it's just fear, think again. There's a biological sabotage happening too. Being smart with facts doesn't mean you're smart with feelings. You can solve a math problem faster than a calculator, but still crumble the second you have to send a tough email or start a scary project. High IQ does not equal high emotional strength. And when emotions get overwhelming, even the smartest minds find sneaky ways to dodge them. Procrastination often isn't some grand strategy. It's emotional self-protection dressed up in a fancy outfit called logical delay. Smart people are masters at making it sound reasonable. I just need more research. The timing isn't right. I'll be more prepared tomorrow. Translation: I'm scared, and I don't want to deal with it right now. Science backs this up. Emotional regulation, handling fear, doubt, anxiety, is a different skill set than solving problems. It's like trying to fix a leaking pipe with a math equation. Logical thinking won't stop the emotional flood if you don't know how to swim through it. Ancient wisdom knew this long before brain scans existed. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and philosopher, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you'll find strength." Being emotionally strong means facing discomfort without letting it paralyze you. It's not about eliminating fear. It's about walking through fear without letting it chain you to the couch. In everyday life, this shows up when you keep postponing that conversation you know you need to have, or when you delay sending that job application because what if they reject you? Your brain tells you it's smart planning, but really, it's emotional armor. The good news? Emotional strength can be trained. You don't need to feel ready to start. You just need to start small. Action builds courage, and courage builds freedom. You don't have to wait until you're fearless. You just have to move while you're still a little scared. But once you see this trap, you can break it. If you've ever felt like your brain was working against you when it came time to get something done, you're not crazy, and you're definitely not alone. Overthinking, perfectionism, thrill chasing, fear, and even your own brain chemistry have been quietly running the show. It's like trying to drive a Ferrari with flat tires. Tons of potential, but getting nowhere fast. Smart people fall into these traps because their minds are powerful enough to see all the risks, all the problems, all the escape routes. But raw brain power isn't enough to win in real life. The real game is emotional strength, focused action, and the courage to move forward even when your inner perfectionist is screaming. Ancient philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and modern scientists actually agree on this. You become powerful not by avoiding fear, but by facing it. Not by waiting for the perfect time, but by acting when it's messy and uncomfortable. That's how growth happens. That's how you turn raw intelligence into real-world success. So if you're smart and you procrastinate, congratulations, you're not broken. You're just operating on an outdated system. Upgrade it, and you'll be unstoppable. Seriously, once you see the traps, you can stop falling into them. You can choose progress over perfection, action over fear, movement over delay. Now I want to hear from you. Ever caught yourself procrastinating on something you actually cared about? Tell me in the comments. I bet your story is way more common than you think. Let's be real, half of us are probably still getting ready to start chasing our dreams. Let's change that today.